Are you serious? Are you serious? Is the green power grid failing? With America changing to renewable energy and getting rid of fossil fuel, whether that be oil and gas, the question is now, is the green energy grid failing America? Look what happened in Texas during February. Look what's happening now in the West Coast. And with the climate change, with the pole shift causing major climate change, and with the jet streams doing something really weird. And can I ask a question? Where is the cool breeze off the Pacific Ocean to keep the northwestern portion of America cool? And why isn't it raining in California? How come this is the worst drought in 127 years? Maybe worst drought in 500 years if it don't get some rain pretty soon. What does all this mean? And is there biblical signs? Is this prophetically been prophesied in the Bible as part of the end of days? Well, I'm going to talk about all that right here in just a minute. First of all, noblegoldinvestment.com, www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Some people are saying, maybe I should diversify some of my 401k or retirement funds, not have it all in the stock market, but put some of it in precious metals. And I think that if you do that, Noble Gold Investment would help you do that. They're a Christian company, family owned. The phone number to call is 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Let Colin Plume help you and see if it makes sense to set up a gold IRA. All right? Tell him Pastor Begley sent you over there. Okay, guys, here's what's going on now. I'm going to give me just 1 second here. I'm going to pull this up. If I can remember what I did. Right? 1 second, please. Another second, please. Okay. Yeah, this is a very, very good question. And actually, the San Diego newspapers are starting to ask this question. Is the over-reliance on renewable energy a bad economic move for California? Now, California's power grid operators are saying that they're asking their residents now, begging them, please turn off your air conditioners. Same thing's happening in Washington State and in Oregon. 30,000 people without power this morning in Washington State and Oregon because they're having rolling blackouts up there. They don't have enough energy. Green power grid not working. California's power grid operator called for emergency conservation as the heat wave continues throughout the state of California. California Independent System Operators issued a flex alert for June 17th for 5 hours, urging people to set their thermostats to 78 degrees or higher. In other words, just turn it off. Also, don't use your washing machines. Don't use your dishwasher. Okay? Now, Wall Street Journal editorial board argues that the federal tax credits and state policies that favor renewable energy like solar and wind have proven unable to meet the demand in both California and in Texas. And we've seen what happened to Texas back in February when it got extremely cold. There wasn't enough power to keep it up because they shut down one of their coal plants, which they should have left open because the wind and the solar technology cannot match it yet. Now, critics argue that the effort to slash greenhouse gas emissions will hurt low and middle income Californians most because of the higher energy cost, and estimates for the cost to business ranges in the billions of dollars where there are blackouts. So what does this mean? Renewables are a must if we're going to help reduce greenhouse gases, but do we need to reduce greenhouse gases? Or are we the fault that there is greenhouse gases? Or is it the massive amounts of volcano eruptions that are breaking records every year now, releasing unbelievable amounts of gases and toxins and plumes and fumes and ash into our atmosphere? Is it really man's fault? So it's not working. Okay, anyway, it's easy to beat in Seattle. Nobody saw in a 6-month period. But I think we talked about that with Mike around the discussion with him on these issues this coming Thursday night, as well as what about the incoming asteroid storm, this meteor storm? Can we talk about that? What about the building that sank in Florida? His map was very alarming to a lot of people, and you can see that map in its clarity, very, very well, very clear. If you go to my Patreon channel, Heidi posted it over there, and you can see it. It's very, very clear, digital printout of it on Patreon, and people are thanking us for doing that. It is very clear. Now remember, though, his map was the worst case scenario, but it is a scenario that the government views as a possibility in 2.5 years. I personally don't think it will get that bad. I don't. But, I'm not looking at the sensors, the meters. I'm not looking at the buoys and the crustal displacement and the rise of the magma and the shallowness of the earth and the water changes in the air. I mean, I don't see all that info. But certainly I can study the Bible. In the book of Isaiah 24, it does tell us we're going to have a pole shift. We are going to have a pole shift. And it will be devastating to the planet. And it will scatter the inhabitants of the earth to different locations. And people are going to die. And it will be catastrophic and cataclysmic. The Bible says we're going to have a lot of great changes and effects on the planet. And it says, Jesus said, but this is just the beginning of sorrows. There'll be false Christ and false prophets shall rise. They shall deceive many. You'll hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass. The end is not yet. And nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in different places. So we're going to be studying that. Heidi will be analyzing that Mike from Around the World show, and in a couple weeks or so, when we'll get that up there for you to get you as much information on that as we can. But certainly, we'll ask Mike more about it this coming Thursday. But right now, there's a serious problem. And that is, and I'm worried about the Northeast. To be honest with you, this heat wave is going to move toward the Northeast, and we may see similar situations where rolling blackouts will be required to keep the power grids working. So, where's the cool wind, Heidi, off the Pacific Ocean? Where'd it go? Keep looking up, everybody. Your redemption's drawing nigh, okay? Your redemption's drawing nigh. Jesus is coming soon. Our blessed